calling BS on the whole concept of fearlessness. Everyone's obsessed with learning how to be fearless. But what if that's the very thing keeping you stuck? It's everywhere, right? Magazine covers, blog posts titled 10 Ways to Be Fearless, motivational posters with women jumping off cliffs in flowy dresses. And look, I'll be the first to admit, I've used the word too somewhere in my own old content. But don't go digging through my archives though. But here's the truth. Being fearless isn't just unrealistic. It's actually kind of harmful. And today I'm going to show you why. And once you see it, you'll never chase fearless again. What's up, it's your girl Keisha B, your mediocrity escapologist, here to help you stop living by others' expectations and start designing a life you're actually excited to live. So let's break down why choosing fearlessness is a trap, the fear you should actually be afraid of, and what we should be focusing on instead. Here's the harsh truth. You will never be fearless, ever. Not because you're weak, but because you're wired. Fear is literally baked into your DNA. That little almond-shaped part of your brain called the amygdala, its only job is to detect danger and hit that panic button faster than you can blink. That's why our ancestors didn't pet tigers or wander into dark caves for fun. Fear kept them alive. So when we talk about being fearless, we're basically saying, hey, let's turn off this survival mechanism that's been keeping humans alive since the beginning of time. Yeah, good luck with that. But here's where it gets tricky. Not all fear is created equal. There's a fear that protects you, and there's a fear that paralyzes you. One keeps you safe, the other keeps you stuck. And most of us, we're letting the wrong fear run the show. Let's start with the good fear, or what I call real fear. Real fear is your bodyguard. It's immediate. It's happening right now in this moment. It's your brain yelling, move, when a car swerves too close or you hear something at 2 a.m. This fear is your friend. Then there's the other fear, the imagined fear. This is the villain of the story. It's the fear of what might happen. The what if I fail? The what if I'm not good enough? What if I look stupid? Or what if they judge me loop that never ends? The fear that has you playing out worst case scenarios in your head like you're directing a horror movie. Here's the wild part. Your brain can't tell the difference between real fear and imagined fear. Brain scans show that when you imagine something scary, your brain lights up in the exact same way as if that scary thing was actually happening. Your heart rate increases, your palms get sweaty, your body releases stress hormones. Your brain is literally treating your what if thoughts like they're real threats. So when you're lying in bed worrying about starting that business or having that difficult conversation, putting yourself out there in a new way, your brain thinks you're being chased by a bear. Except there is no bear. There's just you, your thoughts, and a whole lot of imagined danger. Comment no bear if you get it. This is the fear keeping you from launching the business, asking for the raise, or saying what you really think. It's not protecting you, it's paralyzing you. Now let's get real for a second about what imagined fear is costing you. Research shows that up to 40% of people avoid pursuing their goals because of the fear of failure. That's nearly half the population stuck because of imagination. Think about that for a second. Millions of people are not going after what they want because of fear. And here's what really hits home. When researchers asked dying people their biggest regret, the number one answer wasn't, I wish I hadn't tried. It was, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. They didn't regret the failures. They regretted the inaction, the dreams they didn't chase, the conversations they didn't have, the boundaries they didn't set, the life they didn't live. So yeah, that's the fear we need to be afraid of. So what do we do about it? How do we stop letting imagined fear run our lives? Well, forget trying to be fearless. It's not realistic, and honestly, it's not even the goal. The goal is to be fear aware and action oriented, to recognize when it's imagined and move anyway. Here's how you start in 5 simple steps. Step 1 is to name the fear. When you feel fear creeping in, call it out. I'm afraid to have this conversation. I'm scared people will judge me. I'm afraid I'll fail. Just naming it takes away some of its power. It's no longer this big, scary, unnamed thing lurking in the shadows. And now you can do something about it. Step 2, ask yourself, is this real or imagined? And here's a quick test. Real fear is happening right now. You're driving and a car swerves into your lane. You smell smoke in your house. Someone is following you in a dark parking lot. Imagined fear is worrying about the future. What if I start this business and it fails? What if people think I'm stupid for trying? What if I'm not ready? You see the difference? Real fear saves your life. Imagined fear just steals it. Most of the time, it's imagined. Step 3, and it's a game changer, reframe it. Fear means you care. If you didn't care about the outcome, you wouldn't be scared. The fact that you're feeling fear means this thing matters to you. It means you're on the edge of something important. Think about it. You're not scared of making your morning coffee, scrolling through Netflix, or brushing your teeth, right? Because those things don't carry emotional weight. But asking for that raise, starting that business, setting that boundary, those things scare you because they matter. Step 4 is the big one. Act anyway. This is where courage comes in. Nelson Mandela said it perfectly. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. You don't wait until the fear goes away. You feel it, acknowledge it, and take action despite it. And here's the beautiful part. The more you do this, the easier it gets. Scientists have studied this through something called exposure therapy, and the results are wild. When people face their fears repeatedly, even in small doses, their brains literally rewire. The fear response gets weaker. The thing that used to terrify them becomes manageable. Translation: taking action despite fear actually rewires your brain. And lastly, step 5, start small, and I mean ridiculously small. Tiny steps build your courage muscle. Send one email, post one idea, say one no. Each small action is proof to your brain that you can handle this and that you're more capable than you thought. So let's circle back to where we started, calling BS on being fearless. Think about those you admire, the ones who seem to be living their dreams, building their businesses, showing up authentically. They're not fearless. They're just moving forward despite the fear. Michelle Obama says she's lived with a fearful mind for 58 years. Brene Brown, the queen of vulnerability research, says courage and fear always coexist. So let's stop chasing fearless and start being fear aware, choosing action over avoidance and comfort. And on the other side of that imagined fear is everything you've been dreaming about. So here's my challenge for you. Name one imagined fear that's been running your life. Then take one small, scary, courageous action toward anyway. Drop it in the comments. Let's normalize doing things scared. Because that's how you escape your normal. Not by becoming fearless, but by refusing to let imagined fear run your life. Remember, there is no bear. There's just you deciding whether to let imagined fear write your story or whether you're going to write it yourself. And if this message hit home for you, do all those boss YouTube things, like, share, and subscribe for more mindset flips, truth bombs, and life experiments to help you escape your normal. Now, my fellow escaper, go be your own kind of different, scared and all. Toodles!